are we doing today?
We're gonna try to pour the rest of these walls.
Finally, get it done. Yeah. So Matt couldn't sit still.
Nope.
He jumped in the Kubota. He's out doing my grading for me, giving Chris a break while Chris is over there getting rid of our last old burn pile. See how dusty and dry that stuff is. That's gonna light right on up. That's been sitting there for, honestly, I don't even remember where it came from. That's all that's been sitting there. This is with my microphone. Hopefully this is gonna sound better and some of our audio issues will be a thing of the past, because that's been the big struggle since I changed cameras. The video's been way better, but the audio's been lacking. So see what happens with this. We're ready to go. Hose is in place for where we're starting. So we got this little trough here. Lay the hose in and lay it across. One lift in this to start. And then we'll fill that one completely. Then hopefully come back and do another lift in this. Hopefully it won't be so fast that this isn't set up any. So, and then we'll, I think we said we're gonna go to the little one, I can't remember. And then we'll do the 2 big gables and that'll be it, right? Well, and then we got these little steel pockets and stuff. There's the, I tell you, it's just crazy around here. These are my favorite days when things are insane. As expected, the second truck is here already instead of being 30 minutes patient. Mixing up our primer. Y'all doing all right?
So far.
You been out here?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all sent me 2 fresh ones.
Right. Oh, yeah. I blew right past the side. I looked to the GPS. We looked to the GPS. The way I found it, I found you. Oh, you followed me. Okay, so I was, okay.
You were the guinea pig. Right.
They had me over there, and then I got down the bottom. There's a turnaround. Man, it was tight. It was
Real
like
tight.
one of these numbers. I ain't want to get in. I ain't want to run on somebody's driveway that they complain.
All I did, I hit that little truck down there.
Oh, didn't even need it. Look at that. So Josh has only seen this done once. Nice. Got that set up so we can, you know, part of that prep deal. Everything's just laid out, ready to go, thinking about it. Let me go warm up the boom lift. See how nice that is? Just hang that right there. Instead of it just sitting there pouring all over you constantly. That piston moves and it's just pumping it. That's it. Use that hanger down the wall. I'll tell you who needs this 100% is everyone that's building their own tools that went out for Aaron, the ICF Guru's class. Why would you do anything else? I mean, this is great. All right, so now we're on the breakfast area. So if you've seen the other pumps, you know, it's just always just pouring at you. It's hitting the wall with a lot of force. This, we hook it on there. It's just easy flow. If you've got your slump right, your mixes right, I can definitely see this being light years better.
Thing about being short.
In your eyes, I see a glimpse of light. A new sun is coming up. So it begins. Feel the heat on your skin. A new fire is stirring up. I know it's gonna happen. These dreams, they are for chasing. Don't stop, we got to keep racing. Oh, so come on, dare to be a dreamer. Dare to be a dreamer.
What do you think so far?
Best worst case scenario.
Right?
Feeling good now.
Yeah. We'll do an after action report.
Fresh truck.
Huh?
Fresh truck.
Yeah. Heated controls. Huh? Hey, Michael, where's the mag? Want me to grab that? So there you go. Just mag it on out. Now he's doing the same thing to the other side. Then we'll put a little more mud in and put the board in here. You don't have to do that. You can just mag it like that as you go up. But yeah. We're not to that skill level yet. I'd rather just hop the boards. So, all good. Then what's left is these. So this is a 7-yard truck. The other truck is gone. We figured 5 yards for those, 2.5 each. So hopefully my figuring is on point, because I'm gonna feel pretty stupid if I'm short. So yeah. Is this OSHA approved? For that from the center only. Hey, OSHA approved. And it just this is why mix is key. I don't care who your crew is, how much you vibrate, what you're doing. If you don't have the right mix, you're going to be screwed right from the beginning. So, yeah. If you get a shot of how that works, I'm up here. And we've got everything else poured except for these 2 gables, and we'll find out if I ordered tonight. Doing the last gable.
In your eyes, I see a glimpse of light. A new sun is coming up. So it begins. Feel the heat on your skin. A new fire is stirring up. I know it's gonna happen. These dreams, they are for chasing. Don't stop, we got to keep racing. Oh, so come on, dare to be a dreamer. Dare to be a dreamer. Dare to be a dreamer. Don't let go. In your heart, you know you're strong and you're brave enough.
Pour went great. Had its challenges, but that was part of the reason we wanted to do it, so we could show all of you the worst case scenario and really let you know what the Mud Demon will do and why it is far superior to the other units on the market that are in that size and intended use. Tell you what, I'm going to be sad when it leaves. We've got quite a few pours left to do that we're going to manage as long as Matt will leave it, that we're going to do, but the Kubota did great. Yeah?
What do you want to start with?
Let's see. Well, I gave you the biggest challenge I could, and
It's the best worst case scenario.
yeah,
Yeah. Gable ends on an ice, yeah. So you're 20 plus feet up.
whoop. Yeah, so we pumped those, no problem. I mean, the pump definitely wasn't the issue.
No.
Our challenge was being up there.
Yeah.
I mean, things that would have been a challenge no matter what we were using.
And that's planning, preparedness, right?
So that was great. You've already seen it by this time in the video, but yeah, so we'll take all this off Monday. We'll go ahead and just strip it, and that's it. Walls are done. Complete, finished, finito. Next
Just
are
floors.
just floors and patios and stuff like that to do. And I can tell, probably I said this earlier in the video, but without a doubt, I feel like if we were to peel the foam back, this would be the best pour we did, because huge difference maker that I wasn't even thinking about or prepared for was we had time, because it wasn't beating us to death. We weren't trying to meet a deadline because it was costing us $300 an hour, and we were able to pump, and we were able to vibrate when we wanted to. We were able to stop when we wanted to. And it's anyone doing ICF themselves should have one of these.
Yeah.
Fully, you know, there's some stuff that, you know,
People
helps.
take for granted.
Yeah.
For us, a good example is when you're holding the remote at the end of the hose, when you hit stop, it stops. You get maybe a handful. If
Maybe.
not.
Yeah, I was shocked by that.
You could
Absolutely.
You could literally start and stop, and you could get a handful at a time if you needed to top off another spot.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we're using the boom pump, I'm turning into Concrete Man.
Yeah.
And then when we're trying to fill the little nooks and crannies, he's like, I can't just pump a little bit to go in there.
Right.
And this we just
You get
did.
a wheelbarrow
You'll
at a
see.
time.
I got it on video, so probably already saw that. It was great. Just amazing how much better experience this was. You know, we took a while to pump all this, but I think that would have been no matter what we used, because this was extremely difficult, and we jumped all over the build. You know, we're over there, we're over here.
We also did it with less manpower
Yeah, there was only,
on your schedule, right?
Yeah.
Concrete trucks showed up late, and when they did, they both came at the same time,
of course.
right? So, nature of the beast, right? So, yeah, it's just user friendly and simple. That's what we like.
That's the name of the game.
So,
So yeah, I think the biggest comment we got when I showed when you dropped it off is that how high can you pump?
So it'll do 80 feet vertical. So this is no sweat. It's actually easier to pump uphill than it is to pump downhill.
Interesting.
People think that's backwards. The hard part is about pumping downhill is the mud will slide in the hose and not coat. So when you prime it, it doesn't coat the entire hose inside. So then you'll rock jam on the downhill side.
Okay. So if you were pumping downhill, do you run more primer through it?
Yeah.
Is that's
typically do.
the answer?
Yeah. That's where guys will then put like a bag in between, or they'll put a sponge in front of it to try to hold the primer back. There's
Little tips and
different-
tricks.
Yeah.
And we were pumping through 150 feet of hose, I
We
think.
did 150 feet at 2.5-inch hose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We used half of a shepherd's hook
Yeah. That
Just
was
a
our little
simple-
deal.
on the end of the hose, just lay on top of the hose, and literally for some of the pours, we didn't even have our hands on it. I mean,
This is the
it's not-
cleanest I've ever been after a concrete pour.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, just hook it and wait. And then when you want to move it on the wall, you hit reverse, you back it out, the hose gets
Lighter.
light,
yeah.
and just move it down the line. So there's a little contraption that Matt's coming out with that he's that's in the works with a handle and stuff
Yep.
for
Yep.
specifically
So
for that.
So this is for basically a prototype of what we're doing, but there's a one that will be tested and everything for us as a CPMA member. So that's one thing as well with us, with our machine. It's CPMA certified, so it goes through a third-party auditor, safety audit inspections for each machine.
You're just not making these and just throwing them out the
No.
door and
No.
just
It's
figuring out
not
what
your
happens.
Typical skid steer attachment, stuff like that. There's been a lot to get to where it's at.
Right.
So,
There I go saying right. I'll have to cut that out.
what's that?
This is the little things you notice when you're video and editing, things you say
yeah.
like so, right, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I cut it, but you see it, so I'm trying to be more mindful. Anyway,
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, it could not have gone better in my mind. I mean, the only thing, as far as the pump side of things, it could not have gone better. Concrete trucks could have done what we asked, but
So
that's
some
the
people
usual.
are concerned about how it's going to make my machine dirty, right? So you can have the machine disconnected from it to run it. We did it. All you have to do is have the hydraulic hoses reach it, right? It's simple to run. It's attached. This is just 12-volt power. We use a cigarette lighter. There's also battery toggles that are disconnect. It's pretty simple. It only goes one way.
Because we've got the little accessory plug in there.
And then it's ready to run.
Yeah.
So
let's
this
set it up.
machine could sit off to the side.
Yeah, we did not put a tarp on or anything.
No.
The dirt that's on it is from us being done with the pour, so Matt went around and had to do some work. You'll see that in another video.
Yeah. So actual operations, it's pretty simple. You got two choices. You can operate it manually by the switches on the control panel or by remote.
And the remote was great. That's what I used.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, even a Billy Bob can do it.
Yeah. It's a simple, it's non-line of sight. So that means it'll work for 800 feet. You could be inside a building, steel, concrete, whatever, it still works. So, yeah. So you can do pump on, pump off, forward, reverse, speed up, slow down, and a horn off the remote.
And like we said, it was instant.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you hit off, it's
not-
off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, reverse, back it off, whatever you need to do. So,
If you're gonna move hose, put it in reverse, let it suck a few strokes back. It'll suck the concrete back into the hopper. Same way with clean out. In the end, when you go on to clean the hose out, put the pump in reverse. When you start getting air come up out of the hopper, you put a wet sponge ball or paper bag in the end of the hose and you suck it all the way back and your hose is clean.
done.
So clean up then is just washing out the hopper. And there's the hatch on the bottom you can kick open, so everything will run out, and then it's just rinse it out with the hose when you're done.
Yep. And then we scooped those up. I said, that's another. Scoop those up and add to our little concrete pile, but it wasn't bad. I think this was the best pour, being pretty close on the money
Yeah.
for how much we used. I mean, we probably ended up with a yard extra, which is
Yeah.
a lot, but trying to figure out these gables and exact, I mean,
Right.
wasn't bad. And you can do the 3-inch. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to work something out. I can't hide the machine leave. I'm gonna have to figure out how to, so if you need a machine, when you call, make sure you tell Matt Beely Good sent you.
Yeah.
So, so I keep one. I'm gonna have to get one regardless. I think we do enough ICF now that, I mean, and I'm talking with Aaron with all 3 pools. Talking with Aaron with all 3 pools. You know, some of y'all have seen him out here when we're doing the pool. I mean, if you're doing your own pools, like I'll see a lot of guys at those trainings that, you know, are there to learn how they can do their own pools and then have it as a business, not just for their own pool. This is a no-brainer. I mean, because trying to line up a pump and when can you do it and getting into the back of a neighborhood and figuring it all out, I mean, so it just makes sense for a lot of scenarios. Mason guys that do their
Core filling.
core filling, like we had to try and do off the back of the truck that time when we did mine. This would have been perfect. So, I mean, it's not often, because I come from the background of around machinery and building stuff when I used to build cars and everything, and I'm not normally, it takes a lot to impress me. And Matt's done his homework. I mean, this was great. I was glad you were able to fly in. I know you're busy, but I'm glad you were able to make it in and show us the ropes and help with this difficult pour for us. And then, like I said, the nice thing that's going to be great on the floors is we can, since we're stamping all floors, we'll now be able to do them section at a time instead of just out here busting all day. And
on your time.
right, because something would definitely get missed. I mean, we're trying to stamp 5,000 square feet of floor. Something's getting missed.
100%.
And it's going to be something we got to live with forever. So this way we can concentrate,
You
quality
put down
control.
as much material as what your crew can handle.
can handle. That's it.
Right? You're not paying a pump fee to every single time it comes out anymore. You're not under a time limit. You can do it whatever time of the day you want. You're not. The scheduling is really what benefits from. You know, so if you only want to do one room that's, 14 yards because it's a different color and a different stamp pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Right?
going to be
You can do
huge
that.
too, because the bathrooms are all different.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can do just the bathrooms, right? Whatever your minimum load charge is or whatever that you're going to do, if you only want to do a 4-yard pour, you can, and you can still pump it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing inside a basement, like here, if you're going to do inside the basement, you can have the pump sit up here You know, if you can't, so I myself have done 300 feet at a 5-inch slump, right? No problem whatsoever. I've got a customer in Florida that does swimming pools and skateboard parks with shotcrete, and he's doing a 2.5-inch slump.
Wow.
So it's tight as crap.
Right.
And it does just fine. You know, this is a real concrete pump, so it'll do. We rate it for a 3/4 inch material. That's 3/4 inch crushed. But myself or Jeff Tucker from Muddy Feet, he's done like 1.5 inches. He started with 2.5-inch line, but had to switch to 3-inch line, but the pump was still able to pump it. I've done 1.25 inches through 2.5-inch line, not by choice, but that's what showed up.
Nice.
Right. So
it's almost like it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get sometimes from the concrete plant.
Right. And if you're remote, time frame, you know, if you're doing even driveways, patios, your crew that goes in does tear out and pour same day. You know, the odds of you getting a pump to do that, or if you want to lay sheets of plywood down or protectors that go 200 feet around the backyard to get a buggy around to get concrete back there, that's a lot of labor. That's a lot of labor.
Yeah.
Stairs, anything vertical. Yeah.
Game changer for anybody in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so, well, we debunked the one thing. We definitely can pump vertical, no problem.
Right.
And even a Billy Bob can do it.
Yeah.
So that's easy. So hit us up with your questions. You know, what else? You know, what are
We're
the
happy to
concerns?
answer anything. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got,
Very accessible. A lot of manufacturers aren't accessible.
yeah.
You know, Matt's there to make everybody feel good about it. If you buy a machine, it comes with the training
So if
anywhere
you
in the
buy a
country.
machine, every machine comes with 4 to 3 reducing elbow, the 4-inch heavy duty clamp. That's for the output. So you have a 3-inch outlet. Every machine comes with wireless remote. That's standard with every machine. Year's warranty and a day's on-site training anywhere in the U.S. One of us will come out with the machine, do a training on site in your yard, wherever. If it's on the first job, we've done that too. So
See, you can get a free pump operator for a day too.
but no, it's light enough. It's easy to transport. I haul them around in the back of a 3/4 ton truck.
Yeah, because you had this one on the trailer, and then you had another one in the truck when you brought it.
Yeah.
And we moved it around with the little Kubota, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So for every gallon per minute of oil you send it is a yard per hour you get. So like this machine is a 17 gallon per minute machine, so you're gonna get 17 yards an hour. Now if you had a high flow machine that was 30 plus yards an hour, say Chris's machine, the Taco, that'll do 30 yards an hour. So, but I've got guys that run off a Mini X that runs off the thumb accessory hydraulics, and you know they're getting 12.
I mean, yeah, we could have ran it off the tractor.
You can, 100%
Could
you
have.
can. All it is a hydraulic quick connects.
Yeah.
That's it. So anything with the accessory hydraulics.
Yeah. So if you're a small crew too, looking for something that's going to give you an edge for production without adding people,
100%.
yeah.
And a new scope of work that you would never typically quote or go after because you don't have that equipment, or the more remote you get, the harder it is to get a pump, you know, or if you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of pumps, the cost is, I've seen anywhere from areas where Florida and California where it's $500 for a pump fee for the first 10 yards to $2,000 for the first 10 yards. I've seen.
Yeah, we figured it out. I thought it was around 60. We got $20,000 in pump fees out here so far.
Just pump fees.
Just pump fees.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah,
you know,
and you're on their schedule.
money we lit on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what
No.
it is.
Right.
I mean, in the grand scheme of the job, maybe, but I mean, still money's money. I mean, that's money that could have gone into something else for sure.
Right.
So, into a machine,
Right.
you know. Well, let's check out what we got done. Hey, hey, hey. Sound check.
So some of the questions asked are how the hoses go together, how to clean up, what to do if it plugs, how the clamps work. So we'll kind of go over that a little bit.
Okay.
So these are high pressure hose ends. They're just flat face with a band around it. These are heavy duty clamps. There's a rubber gasket that goes between each one.
And I got this in the video. Josh put this on after being shown one time.
And that's it.
Ready to go.
It's ready to use. The next thing is what to do if it plugs. So if plugging happens, it's gonna happen to anybody. You get a chunk of material that comes from the plant, goes through the grate, pumps it out, gets to the hose. This is what happens. It'll go through the hose fine, because the hose can expand to it.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets to the coupler, it can't expand any farther. So you'll see the hose will jump. It'll look like it jumps. By jumping to where you'll see a tug like that. And the easiest thing to do is go across with your foot and feel for pressure. And you'll feel it where you can't touch it, right? And then you'll go in front of it and it's soft. So you know where the plug is at. So the first thing you would do is you'd pump stop on the remote, put it in reverse, and take a few strokes backwards in reverse. Is what that does is it starts sucking that pressure back and it relieves the pressure off the hose. So worst case scenario, every single time, if you're in question, put the pump in reverse, take a couple strokes back, and then it's just safe that way.
Right. You don't want to open up a.
Yeah.
You don't want to open a hose with
So when
pressure
it's-
on it.
If it's plugged, right? Typically is what you'll do is you'll see it, and then you'll just take a hammer and hit the end of the hose, and you'll get a bunch of dry concrete with no water in it come out. So you'll do that, you'll put the pump in forward, you'll get fresh cream again, reconnect it, and then you're good to go again. And you'll see the big chunk that comes out, or it's just dried out.
Right. That's just a byproduct of pumping. That's
It
not the
doesn't matter
machine.
what,
Right.
that's just it. It happens in boom pipes too, in boom trucks. Less often because the diameter of the hose is so big, but it still happens. So
And speaking of boom trucks, so you're creating one right now. I
we
believe.
do. We have a placer as well for skids here, and that reaches 35 feet. So it could go vertical. It could reach the top as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Probably the last thing that people want to know, they're concerned about, it's so hard to clean up, right? You got 250 feet of hose laying out, it's full of concrete, what do? You got to break them apart, haul them down, right? That's what everybody thinks. Wash them out with hoses, and that's what you have to do. And we go through that with the training. You can do that if you choose to. Sometimes we like to work smarter, not harder. So you put the pump in reverse. Once it's in reverse, you'll let it go for about a minute, and you'll start getting air in the hopper. Once you do that, you take a sponge, it's wet, you're just gonna ball it up at the end of the hose with it in reverse. As soon as it gets in there to where it starts, and just sucks it back. And it'll pull this sponge all the way back like we did here, the 150 feet. Took about 5 minutes, and it pulled it all the way back into the hopper. Hoses are done clean, that's it. You can just roll them back up, put them away, they're done. You don't have to rinse them out, don't have to do anything like that. You can use a sponge, you use paper bag. I've got a friend that done it with tacos and Whoppers and all kinds of other things, t-shirts. I mean, anything that you can, that's still soft, that you can pull through the hose to clean it out. So super easy. The hopper to clean out, you can ask somebody in the machine to pick it up. Like if you don't want the mess in the front of the building, like where we were at, we could have carried the machine over to the pile, tripped the hopper, and done it there. Where typically your pump truck will just clean out right where they're at, you know, and you're stuck dealing with everything that's there afterwards. So, but
Can't beat it.
yeah.
All right, so all this is now full of concrete. And that one, and that big one over there, and this one. So all that's done, all with the mud demon. You saw already in the video the little troughs that were made to carry the hose up. I mean, nothing crazy or super difficult, just, you know. And I worried more about this pour than any of them, not because of the machine, but because of the just being gables and up high and how we were gonna handle it and all that good stuff, and it went great. So glad that's out of the way. And you know, wherever we put steel were little beam pockets. So let me zoom in on that. Here it is. And we were able to pump the concrete into that with the pump. We would never been able to do that with a boom pump. So I need to sweep off, you know, my ceilings have got dirt on them, but that's what happens when they're exposed like this. Well, that's it. What do you think, Matt?
Love it.
All right, so we're gonna try and get Jeff with Muddy Feet out here when we pump the little guest cabin at the top of the hill.
Yep.
So that should happen. But yeah, our next pump is gonna be the floor. You'll see that in action. And I'll be all on my own. But now we have confidence, so. Reach out to Mud Demon.
Yeah, we'll leave a link in your video.
Yeah, definitely we'll put a link in the description. Reach out, and anywhere that does big concrete stuff, they do demos too. They were at World of Concrete, they were at Decocrete's thing. So you can reach out if you want to see it in person. If you're want to travel to North Carolina and want to meet me for some reason, then when we do the Nadura build up here, we're going to do a training. So if you're interested in doing some hands-on, and you'll see the machine in action, you can see ICF getting stacked in action. If I can work out the timing, I'm gonna go ahead and build my well house, which will have a 5,000 gallon holding tank. So it's like a pool. So if you're looking to do a pool, I mean, it's small, of course, but the same, some of the same
process.
Some of the same processes. So hit me up. You know, we'll have to have a limit on how many people, it'll turn to a quagmire. But if you're interested in doing that, let me know. Probably 2 months out, maybe less, because Chris has got to finish clearing, so we're waiting on Chris. It's not like he's busy. I mean, what else has he got to do? So, see you next time.